What is happening, everyone? It's your boy Dion, and I am back at you guys again with yet another reaction video. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Fate Prisma Illya movie. Yes, I did take a little bit to go ahead and get into this movie. I was trying to go ahead and wait until my copyright strikes went ahead and went away. Now that they have finally gone away, I'm going to go ahead and check out this movie. I'll go ahead and do my full reaction and post it onto the link down below. So if you guys want to go ahead and check that out, be sure to go ahead and go over to the website or click on link, so that way you'll be able to be up to date or know exactly what's going on when it comes down to me or all of my videos that I'm going to be releasing. My reactions are going to go ahead and be directly onto that section from now on instead of YouTube, because YouTube has a reason or a thing that they like to do, which is called copyrighting the shit out of me and getting my videos taken down. Even though there are tons of different YouTubers who do anime videos and their videos are still perfectly up, and my first channel completely taken down, and now my videos getting copyright strike. Mind you, I make no money off of the videos or anything like that, but needless to say, I digress. Guesses it happens when you're a small YouTube channel. But yeah, I'm very excited to go ahead and jump directly into this movie. I'm looking at everything, make sure I have the right movie and everything like that. This movie is like an hour and 30 minutes long. I probably won't put the entire full information up or the full reaction up. I'm gonna try my best, but yeah, I don't know. You guys let me know all your thoughts down below. If you enjoy my reaction, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe down below for more videos just like this one. Make sure you like me, love me, and you talk to me down below. And let's go and jump directly into the video. Wow, that is crazy. I mean, the thing about it is we knew what was going to happen to him. We know what's going to happen to him. We know how this story unfolds, because if you've watched, since I've watched Fate Prisma Illya and the entire series and seasons, I know what happens to him. So it's like, I understood what was going on. Oh man, that reaction was heavy. That movie itself was heavy. I have a large amount of shit written down. So if you guys are here right now just for the review, you can go ahead and leave. Just stay with the review, or if you want to go ahead and check out the reaction, you might want to go check it down below, because fuck. We had a couple of good people that came in. We saw Sakura, we saw Julian, we saw Miyu, Kanitsuku, or I'm definitely gonna pronounce his name wrong. The Ilya's father. I'm just gonna say that. Ilya's father. Because that's just how I know of him from Fate Stay Night and Fate Zero. That's just the way I know of him. So damn. So Shiro's dad basically and him were basically driving in the car and everything like that. Out of nowhere, they were having a conversation, and nowhere a big gigantic explosion happened. It was just this big gigantic darkness that just was enveloping the city. Nice light ended up coming from the side of that dome and completely obliterated the darkness and destroyed it and took it away. Of course, they went to go investigate and see what was going on. Shiro ended up abandoning his father and went ahead of him. He later on found Miyu on the side by herself. Miyu was a little kid and everything like that, toddler. She didn't know what was going on. They went ahead and took her in. He was basically trying to go ahead, and she wanted to go ahead and do what they needed to do, which was use her abilities, since they found out that she was basically a godchild or whatever like that, or a symbolism of actual Holy Grail product. They wanted to go ahead and use her to be able to create a wish, in order to save humanity. The thing is, when it comes down to this series, we have to remember, especially in this section of the series, that in this version of the story, Illya and her friends, Shiro and them, they're the bad guys. Like, I have to reiterate this. They are the bad guys in this story. Because at the end of the day, Julian does want to save humanity. And that conversation is tough, because you don't want to sacrifice this person, but at the end of the day, looking at everybody else, it's one life versus billions upon millions of lives. Which, when it came down to Illya, she said she wanted to go ahead and just save everybody. She doesn't want to go ahead and leave it to a situation where she has to choose between her friend or the billions of people. She wants to save everyone. And that is tough. At the end of the day, again, we have to understand that Illya and her posse, and even Shiro, they are the bad guys. Julian himself is actually the good guy in this series. So even Shiro's father, he was up there going ahead and saying, that he needs to stop thinking of her as a human. The more humanizing traits you give her, the more it's going to be harder for us to do exactly what we need to do. We have to focus and understand that she needs to be used. We need to figure out a way to be able to use her in order to save humanity. That's our main objective, because humanity, we'd rather sacrifice one person than sacrifice billions upon billions of lives. But of course, Shiro was saying how that wasn't actually his father or anything like that. Kinnitsu actually just found him after Shiro's family had already been killed and everything like that. He was the only one left. I loved the one thing I loved about this series was the cinematography that we saw a large amount inside the series, from the different type of transitions. There was one scene where when Shiro and his father were up there talking and everything like that, they were having a conversation, and they did the transition in a way to where Shiro and his father faded out, and the adult Shiro was standing directly in front of him while they were having a conversation when they looked towards him, which I thought that was a really good type of transition. Another symbolism that happened in the series, to where you always saw Julian's emotions or facial expressions when it came down to him and Shiro hanging out or eating lunch together and everything like that. How he always kind of had this darkness sitting about himself, that something just wasn't right with the character. Even down to the part where Julian went ahead and they were having like a conversation, whatever like that, about Shiro looking down, using a fake smile or whatever like that, and he ended up spilling some tears, whatever like that, on his body. He spilled some tea on him, and he went to the other end of the table, and for a split second in this scene, it was to where Shiro was in the nice long stream of beam of light or whatever like that, with light beaming down onto him, and the rest of the room and everything like that, and including where Julian was sitting at the other end of the table away from Shiro, it was complete darkness, to where which I love that cinematography that they did. Even though it's an anime, they still did a nice cinematography that would be considered of or be done by actual live action film. That type of symbolism inside the movie. So I really loved how that happened. Later on, Shiro decided to go ahead and take Miyu out. It had been 5 years ever since that point on, from her 6th birthday. It had been 5 years. And he wanted to go ahead and take her out for the first time ever, to go ahead, let her go ahead and experience what it's like to be outside. They went ahead and spent the entire day together outside, and they ended up going to see Miyu's actual family's graves. At that point, Shiro went ahead and came clean. He told her everything about what was going on, about how his father and him wanted to use her as a tool to be able to save humanity. And out of nowhere, here comes Julian. Julian comes in. He basically takes Miyu when Shiro tries to go ahead and fight him. He basically opens up a portal, has him like just fall down from a very tall place or whatever like that, and basically hurts him. Like, he literally just dropped him from a really high place up. He teleported him high up in air and dropped him. Because mind you, Shiro doesn't have any abilities or anything like that at this point, so there's no possible way he could defend himself. Well, any real abilities. He still had his trace ability and everything like that from the Magecraft ability. So as soon as he went ahead and got through that, he ended up trying to go ahead and fight Julian again, and here come Tit Gil, or I believe her name was Angelica. Went ahead and tried to stop him, and finally went ahead and threw tons of different swords at him. Of course, he was saved by the priest from Fate Zero, whose name shall not be mentioned. When he went ahead and saved him, Shiro started to try his best to try to get into where Julian was, and he was begging to plead to try to go ahead and save his sister, and he just couldn't do it. Fast forward to where Shiro's at his house. Sakura comes up. He's trying to go ahead and he's still gloomy and everything like that, and Sakura is there, gonna go ahead and fix him something to eat. They have dinner, have a good time, have a good day, and everything like that. He starts to apologize for not being at school. Turns out Sakura is actually a part of Sakura's family is actually how should I put it? They're actually bonded or tied when it comes down to the Ironsworth family. Their family actually has some type of allegiance or whatever like that to them. So I thought that was very, very interesting. Her brother, I know him from somewhere. I just can't remember his name. Again, when it comes down to everything, Fate, I binge watch a large amount of Fate and Fate Prime, Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night, and everything like that. And mind you, this series came out years ago. I want to say probably like 2013, 2015, and we're in 2020 now. So it's like I don't remember all the stuff that happened in those series. I remember like faces and certain characters and everything like that. Like back when I saw Sakura inside the series, I immediately remembered her. I was like, I know who she was. But yeah, I just didn't remember her name at the time. But yeah, out of nowhere, she turns out that she was actually supposed to be coming there to kill him. She decided to go ahead and help him instead by giving him the Gilgamesh card. But her brother showed up, trying to go ahead and fight him because Sakura wanted to go ahead and give him the card. She was like, hey, this will be a way for you to be able to have some power to be able to go ahead and save your sister. Or you could choose me instead, and we could run away together and leave all this stuff behind and live out the rest of our lives. Of course, he chose to fight and try to save Miyu. After running away from her brother and everything like that, Sakura decided to try to go ahead and fight. She wanted to go ahead and use the Gilgamesh card to go ahead and try to fight against her brother. Turns out the card was a fake card. There's no way she could actually use it. Her brother kills her. Spoiler alert, her brother kills her. And he just beats the shit out of Shiro until Shiro uses his traceability onto the actual Gilgamesh fake card, the fake Gilgamesh card. And that basically activates his abilities, allows him to be able to use his archer abilities, which I thought that was fucking phenomenal the way they set that up. So in a sense, is as it's like Shiro's version of the archer class or whatever like that is still an archer class. It's just his own personal version of the spiritual hero, should I say, the hero spirit, should I say. But yeah, he went back and forth fighting tons of different people over and over to obtain cards. These weren't actually people, however. Apparently, these were just heroic spirits bonded with bonded with like dolls or whatever like that. The cards were actually attached to the dolls, and they were basically fighting and using the abilities of all these different people, of all these cards, to go ahead and try to fight Shiro. After Shiro collected all of the cards, he went and made a wish on the Holy Grail to go ahead and send his sister to the world that we know now with Illya. And of course, it ended up to where we wanted it to be. Again, I was even saying this through the action. We know how this story ends. He even used unlimited blade works, which I love how they showed it the exact same way when it came down to how in Fate Stay Night, how Shiro was fighting Gilgamesh, but Gilgamesh didn't get a chance to use his sword that time. However, this version of Gilgamesh, she was able to use her sword. Angelica, she was able to use the Gilgamesh sword and blew him the fuck away. So that just shows you how powerful Gilgamesh as the actual original card is, like how the original hero spirit himself is. But yeah, I absolutely enjoyed this movie. Like, it was an amazing movie. When it comes down to it, of course, as much as I love the Fate franchise, I cannot lie, I have to be 100% honest. This movie was like an hour and 30 minutes. And through all of it, I would say the very large front portion of it was just all exposition. I'm the type of guy, which isn't always a bad thing. I'm the type of guy who loves stuff to where I love to have action and storytelling at the exact same time where it's going on. I'm the type of person that grew up with watching Dragon Ball Z. So when some action happened, it would always be like the action is happening while the story is being told to you. They're not just force feeding you information. They're showing you stuff that's going on while you're being given the information. Which, when it came down to it, a large amount, I want to say about 45% of the 45 minutes of the movie was just straight on exposition, which is, again, is not a bad thing. We need to know about our characters, but I wish that it would have been done in a way that would have still been able to keep my level-headedness, because of course I watched the movie completely while I'm doing a reaction and everything like that. And of course, I've been so invested in the Fate franchise and the Fate Prime Illya series that to where I've done a large portion of the entire series on my channel. Like my original channel, I did every single season, every single episode. So of course I stuck through the actual movie fully. However, a casual person or something like that would not probably stick through the entire section, because 45 minutes in, they'll probably get bored halfway through and then be like, oh man, what's going on? They won't stay to the really good part, to where they start using the cards and Sakura starts Sakura ends up dying and Shiro starts using his abilities and everything like that. They won't stay till the action packed portion of it. And that's my biggest worry. I hear that there's supposed to be another movie. I will be 100% checking into that, but I hope this was a really good reaction that you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe down below for more videos just like this. I will definitely leave a link down below to where you can go ahead and watch a large amount of my reactions. I do tons of different reactions, not just Fate. I'm also doing To Love Ru. I'm also doing Harley Quinn. So if you guys want to go ahead and check those out, then I will definitely leave a link down below. And I do thank you guys for checking out the video. Hope you guys enjoy your week. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Make sure you like me, love me, and talk to me down below. I'm see you guys in the next video. Peace.